Hey, this is Shamim from Intelixel. As you know, we have already started our new playlist. This is going to be a Python programming language. So we have learned a lot of things from this playlist, and as you know, if you want to establish your foundation, probably this basic knowledge is very important. That's why I'm again start this playlist so that you can learn so many things from this playlist. So today this is the second video of this Python programming language, and we are gonna learn this is a variables is what, how variables works, and why we need to declare our variables for any kind of programming language. So let's have a look. So this is a Python variables. So try to understand what is going to be a variable and why we need a variable. Variable is a name which is used to refer memory location. Variable also known as an identifier and used to hold value. So this is very important. So what I'm going to say, this is a memory location refer, and it's a known as an identifier used to hold a value. So try to go to give a one example so that it looks very interesting. So that we are going to use a PyCharm. So if you want to use like a code editor, you can go there. So how you can go to open a terminal, then code dot and press enter, and yes, this is also open in code editor VS Code. So you can use both, either you can use PyCharm or you can use VS Code, no problem. So I'm gonna use this PyCharm. This is cool enough for Python actually. Okay, so I just hover on the Python basic to advanced folder and click right and click new and open a file and create a one file like new Python learn .py. Okay, this is my new file. There I have write my all the code so that we can learn how write a code and execute. Okay, so give a one example. So this how works. Okay, so this is a x. I can declare this is a variable and I assign some informations into this variable. Again, this is a string. I also assign this string into this variable y, and I print both of the variables. They are print x and print y. Let's have a look what happens after clicking the run button. Yes, we can get the result 5 and John both, because both of the string we are assigning into the variables, and variables when I call into the print function, this is going to give a result. This is 5 and John. So there I have explained this is like a Python hold a value and known as an identifier. The second line in Python, we didn't need to specify the type of variable because Python is a type interface language and is smart enough to get a variable. Most probably one of the many of the language there has to declare a variable or type, so that this is integer or boolean or string, whatever the type you need to declare whatever the variables you are going to declare. So in Python, this is specifically different, and you don't need to give or need to mention any kind of type. So it's automatically it's automatically take which type of information you're gonna assign to your variable. He understand this is probably boolean, integer, or string. So let's have a look what happens there. So this is a 5. This is a 5 and assigned to the x variable, and this is obviously integer. So we don't need to write like here this is an integer or something like that, because Python automatically understand this is an integer, and this is a string. So we don't need to write before into the this is a string, because Python automatically understand that this is a string. So this is very important. and we don't need to write a lot of code at the same time. That's why Python is a very cool language. And if you go to the next part, we try to learn variable names can be a group of both letters and digits, but they have to begin with a letter or an underscore. So you should maintain or you should follow some sets of rule what type of letters or what type of digit you are going to use as a variable. So you can use a letter or underscore, both you are going to use. So it is recommended to use lowercase letters for a variable name, like Rahul, this is a uppercase R, and Rahul, this is a lowercase r. Both are two different variables. So if you use a lowercase and uppercase letter, they are maintaining the different variables. This is very important for you. So go to the next. Identify naming. So how we identify the variable names. This is going to be this we actually learn here. The first character of the variable must be an alphabet or underscore. So you can start alphabet or underscore, like if you go to the example sections, you probably learn more things. Okay, this is okay. So this is name. You can assign a variable. So this is alphabet, you can start. Age, assign a variable. Height, is an underscore student, assign a variable. So you can write your variable in this way. So you don't need to mention a string, integer, float, boolean, because Python automatically take or understand which type of data you are going to assign to your variable. Okay, so let's go to the next section. Okay, all the character except the first character may be an alphabet of lower case A to Z or uppercase A to Z or underscore 0 to 9. So you can use this letter, underscore, or uppercase, lowercase, whatever. Identifier now must not contain any white space or a special character. So you can not use this type of a special character as a variable. Identifier name must not be similar or any keyword identifier in the language. So you can't use the similar kind of identifier name as a variable. Identifier names are case sensitive. For example, my name and my name is not the same. So my name is a lower cases, and my name, you can see that there is a upper cases in the first alphabet. So this is not the same. They're the totally different variable. Example of the valid identifiers like A123 underscore n underscore 9 etc. So this is very important, how you declare your identifier, how you declare your variable, and you try to learn identifier naming. So both of the cases you're going to use all these things, or what of the cases you're not using this identifier naming of the variables. Declaring variable and assigning values. So Python does not bound us to declare variable before using in the applications. It allows us to create variable at required time. So Python does not bound us to declare variable before using in the application. It allows us to create variable at required time. So when we need or require any kind of variable, you can assign or you can declare a variable. So this is very important. We don't need to declare explicitly variable in the Python. When we assign any value of the variable, that variable is declared automatically. So if you give me the one example, you can understand what happens. So you can see some legal variable names there so that you understand. So this is some legal variable names: my var, underscore my underscore var, my v underscore var, my var 2. So this is like legal variable names. You can use these all the variables. Okay, so So this is the last part of this. So the equal operator is used to assign value to a variable a equal 10. So this means you can assign 10 value to the variable a. So this is the way you have to write, or write a variable, how you declare and your data, or the information you put on your variable. Okay, let's have a look how so many informations or so many examples we have to look, so that we can understand easily how variable we can declare on our programming language or on our any kind of application. Okay, so this is a camel case. So try to see and try to see the example. Each word except the first starts with the capital letters, my variable name. So we start lowercase, then start uppercase and start uppercase, variable name and my. So this is camel case. Please, each word starts with the capital letter. So if you start each word with the capital letter, like you try to, this one must be capital, because you give all the variables first letter is a capital. So that's why you try to write this one, otherwise Python give a camel case problem. Okay, or you try to write my underscore variable underscore name. This is very cool writing practice of the variable. Okay, if you run, okay, done. Right now we can give another example, many values to multiple variables. Okay, so we just try to take all the codes and execute the codes in our terminal, so that we understand what happens there. Okay, so many values to multiple variables. So we can assign many values to the multiple variable, like x comma y comma z, and the values of orange string, banana string and cherry string. Orange we assign a x, banana we assign a y, and cherry we assign a z. And print xyz, we have seen all the informations. Okay, if you declare, okay, now run the code, and yes, orange, banana and cherry, orange, banana and cherry. Okay, so this is our code. We have gate. So assign all at a time, like we can write this code, we can write this code like x equal orange. Individually we can write this code, we can assign all the variable individually. So we don't do that, write one line and Python understand this is all the values assigned individually, all the variable. Okay, so we go to the next. One value to multiple variables. Okay, so x equal y equal z equal orange. That means this is a value which assign a multiple variables, like x is equal to orange, y orange, z orange. So all the so the values orange assign a to x, assign to y and assign to z. So just run this code, and every time we get orange, 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 because the same values assign the different variables. Okay, we try to get the next thing. Okay, this one is what? So unpack of a collections. If you have a collection of values in the list or tuples, Python allows you to extract the values into the variable. This is called the unpack collection. So like Fruits is a variables. We try to assign a list. This is apples, banana, and cherry. All are the strings, and the fruits variables assign a different x, y, z variables. So we try to declare a one list. This is apple, banana, and cherry. The list assigned to the fruits, and fruits indicates all the x, y, z, and print x, y, z. What do we get the result? Apple, banana, and cherry. That means individually we assigned x is apple, banana is a y, and cherry is z, and we get all the values there. This is called the unpack collection. So we declare a list to a one variables, and these variables declare different variables so that you can get that result individually. Okay, so right now another thing. Okay, so output variables. This print function is often used to output variables. So print functions is basically the output variable. So if you want to see our results, we are going to use this print function. So Python is awesome. This is a string. We assign a x variable, and we try to declare a Python print function to see the result. So just click run, and yes, we can see the result. This is Python is awesome. Okay, in the print functions, you output multiple variables and separated by a comma. So if you wanna separate it by a comma, this string like x is a variable, so you assign this value Python, and y is a variable, so you assign this value is, and z is a variable, so you assign a variable awesome, and you declare x, y, z by using comma in a print functions. You get the same result before you have seen. So click run, and yes, you get the same result. Okay, so next we have seen the same result again. Okay, you can also use the plus operator to output multiple variables. So we are using three variables x, y, z and assign a value. Python is awesome, and we try to use the print function and get the result x plus y plus z. So we get the same result. So click run and get the same result. Python is awesome. So we try to learn right now. This is global variables. So what is called a global variables? Variables is actually right. So create a variable outside of the function. This is called a global variable. So you try to create a variables. This is outside the functions. This is a global variable. So this is a my function. Define a functions named my functions and print Python is. This is plus x. X is a variable, and we try to put a value. This is awesome. Yes, this awesome is a global variable because we are not assigning these variable into the function. These variables outside of the functions we have to use. That's why we call this variable when into the function. This is called a global variables. So this x is a global variables. We try to run the code, and you get the same result. Yes. So right now we create a variable inside a function. So if I create the same, if you wanna look the same variables, if you wanna look the same result and create a variable inside of functions, okay, try to understand. Create a variable inside a function with the same name as the global variables. Like x is a global variables, assign a value. This is awesome. And define a functions my function, and x is a fantastic. This is a inside of the function variable, and call a print function. Python is plus x, and call a my function. Again print Python is x. Right now in a function into the function, we can get the result. Python is a fantastic because he takes his inside variables, not the global variables. But the last one, after defining or after calling the functions my functions, then we define another print functions. This is Python is plus x. This x is a global variable and this x is a inside of the function variable. So we try to run this. Yes, Python is a fantastic and Python is awesome. That means inside the function, whichever or whatever the variables we are gonna assign or define, the inside of the function print function always get the inside variables into the result, but outside of the function they take a global variable. Okay, so then we try to go to the another variable naming. How to use variable? So name like Sabuj, age 25, print name and age, we can get the result easily. Yes, you can get the results. This is a variable uses we can use. How? Combining the variables we have already learned, and this is all of the variables learning part. So today we have learned how you assign or declare a variable, try to learn the naming of the variables, and try to learn the global variables and inside the function variables. So all the things we're gonna learn, and you just try to practice the variables, how works and why you need to assign a variables, and the variables basically help you to get the result easily and inside of print function if you want to run the code. So this is all about the today's lecture. This is our variables. Next day we're gonna start a data type. Thank you so much. Ta-da. Bye bye.